Hi everyone. Just wanted to do an East Coast economic update for October the 14th, 2010. Yes, I do have time on my hands apparently. Let me just adjust this. Sorry guys. A couple of things I want to point out, and I would like to make a comment on a comment that was left on my East Coast economic update for October 13th. I'll get to that. All right, so three things. You're going to see the DXY, which is the dollar index, took a crap last night. It dropped as much as to 75 bips from 77 yesterday when I was discussing this earlier. Just want to point something out historical. I'd like to throw it out there for you. The last time the dollar was about to crash at around 70 bips was in 2008, and the Federal Reserve interbank lending rate was at 5.3 or something like that, 5.25. And what kind of elongated the collapse of the crisis and brought us to this point is the fact that the Fed was able to cut its interest rates from 5% down to almost zero in two major moves, one in August and then another one in October about 2 years ago. Now we have the same situation, and the dollar is about to get closer and closer to 70, and the Federal Reserve has painted itself in a corner. So I would like you to keep an eye on that. The the Dow keeps going up and the dollar keeps dropping. That means it's inflationary, and that's what was happening before. I'm going to leave you with a counter thought, which is from a gentleman named Mr. Whalen. I forgot what his first name was. M.S. Amore gave this to me, which was very interesting. I'm going to leave this for you to read. This is called Pictures of Deflation, comments by Christopher Whalen. And this was done in October the 6th of this year, so about a week or so ago. Um, I just want to give you perspectives of what's going on. I'm a big believer. I need a haircut too, but I'm a big believer uh, that no one like myself or anyone else can sit there and tell you what to think, because the moment you allow somebody else to do the thinking for you, you lose your sovereignty and you, you lose your brains because you don't make decisions anymore. Now you look to somebody else. So I want you to read that. Um, also, I'm going to throw up a Bob Chapman notice called "The Questions uh, That Swirl Around the Fed." That was also put out yesterday, and I just got that today by M.S. Moore. Thank you again, Michael. Two items that I thought were very interesting. Read them. Basically, Bob Chapman is a gold bug. So please put your filter on and see what the economic implications are, not to look at buying or selling gold. But, it's a free document. Like I said, use this. Don't believe everything you hear and nothing what you see. Um, which brings me to a comment that was made yesterday, actually last night, on my last video from a gentleman or from a lady, from someone who is whose channel name is Wild Wild World, and had made a point of stating, and I'm paraphrasing of course, that the reason why that person likes to watch me is because the other folks on YouTube are really excited about gold prices going up and what have you. Well, a wild, wild world. The reason why I am not excited about this is because I come from a different perspective on uh, what gold and silver means. Gold and silver to me, when looking at the economy as a whole, and particularly uh, buying power of the American dollar where I live, is is a sort of a blood pressure test for the body economic. If you have a high gold and silver price, that means the that the body economic or the body market has a problem, a deadly one, and at its heart, to go with that analogy, is a very weak manufacturing sector. And as that heart gets weaker and weaker, it needs to press harder and harder to keep the blood pressure up. Once it reaches, which it's getting very close to right now, a critical mass, that heart will explode and it will kill the body. I don't buy gold and silver to buy it and then sell it. I buy gold and silver because I've been taught that it's a fire extinguisher for your economic home. And there's also another statement which I'm going to give to you since you were so nice to leave that comment. There's an old saying in my family that goes 20% of 20% covers 20% of something covers 100% of a problem, or 100% of everything. What does that mean? I look at gold and silver as a fire extinguisher, as I said before. What you should always do is hold on to 20% gold and silver of what is the equivalent value of what you own. And I'm not talking about money in the bank per se, but property, whatever. Anything that appreciates in value, real estate, real items. So if you keep 20% of your total value of what you own, if something like this happens, where the dollar collapses and gold goes to the sky, now remember, gold doesn't change price. It is only a reflection of what the value of what you're using to buy things with, in this case dollars, shows its value in its health and the health of its country ultimately. So it doesn't change value. You should always hold on to 20% of that. So God forbid, everything goes to hell in a handbasket, which it looks very close to being. You'll be able to use some of that reserve to bring back your, I hate to use the word wealth, your livelihood. Okay, so because you can't eat gold, you can try it. It's not going to save your life, and it may not necessarily be the item that you will be allowed to trade with, depending on what the society. I know I'm getting crazy here. It depends on what the society agrees to as a bartering tool. People may reject gold or dollars or everything for sheep wool or gunpowder or ammunition. So gold is just a fictitious, I use that term, a backup plan for a fiat currency. And it also is a reflection of where you're living, where that economic feasibility is. And at this point, because gold is rising at a very alarming rate, it shows that the dollar is collapsing, and it also shows that our infrastructure is also collapsing, our financial productive infrastructure. And if you've ever seen any of my other videos, you know that we don't have any productive capacity. It's a dying body. Until we fix that heart, the blood pressure, the gold price will just continue to skyrocket until the heart explodes. So I leave you with those thoughts. Thank you very much, A Wild Wild World, for your comment. That's the reason why I'm not a quote-unquote gold bug, silver bug. I'm a fire extinguisher purchaser. All right, folks. Like I said before, I hope you like government cheese.